Well, good morning, welcome back to the channel. It's Boxing Day, and as you can probably tell, it is absolutely pissing down with rain today. It started off about 8 o'clock this morning and it's set in for the day, I'm pretty sure. And I was hoping to go out today. I was going to go down to the coast, Romney Marsh or somewhere like that, and see if I could get some images. I might still go out because this sort of weather does offer some good opportunities in terms of lighting. Nice and flat and also misty into the distance, and there's no wind, so it might actually be, if I can get an umbrella, a half reasonable sort of a set of images. But what I want to talk to you about today is I went out yesterday, Christmas Day, quite early in the morning, about maybe 8:30, and just went for a drive round. No one on the road, very pleasant, and it was just nice to be out. But again, it was a bit like today, but it wasn't raining as heavily. And Sarah and I went for a little bit of a spin round, about 20 miles, up into near West Kingsdown, which is in Kent, near Brands Hatch. And while we were there, we went through the little village of Ainsford, which is a very pretty little place, and it's also, as its name implies, it's got a ford. And normally that's packed with people, but I thought, let's go and see what it looks like today. Nice little river running through. So we got there and there was no one around, and I thought, okay, get some images. So I got some nice images, but the sky was completely white, as it is at the moment, or grey to be more accurate. And the images themselves were quite nice. It was quite an attractive place. But I came away with some 4 or 5 images that I liked, and I decided they looked better in black and white, so I converted them to black and white. But my issue was with them that any large area of sky that's just completely white, or grey in this case, it didn't look very good. So what I'm going to do is take you over to the computer and talk you through what I did to make the images a little more interesting. So I've come inside now, and obviously it's a lot more pleasant in here than it was outside. And whether I do get out today and go down to the coast, I'm not sure. It looks set in for the whole day, but I might well do. There's nothing really much else to do apart from editing images, and just spin you around and show you the screen. And as you can see here, we've got some images. This is the ford. You can drive your car through there. It's showing it's about a foot deep at that point, which is probably all right for most cars, certainly for mine. And there's the little bridge, there's the little village church, and this is the sort of opposite side of the river. The other side of the river over here is some properties. So I'm going to switch across to screencasting, and I'll talk you through this particular image and what I did to actually make it look a bit better than it does there. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom, and I've got the image on the left as the reference image. This is pretty much the image straight out of the camera. It's had little or no processing done to it. And as you can see, I've got a big white area of screen up here, which is, or at least sky, which is not at all interesting. It really doesn't add much to the picture, I don't think. And the black and white version of it is the one that's now on the right. And what I've done first of all to this image is there's a property here. You can see this newer house just on the right hand side of the image, which I don't think adds much to it. I'd much prefer the church and this little village shop with its high level water, above water level door there, and the rest of the bridge as the image. So I've done a little bit of rotation to actually fix the fact that chimneys, or the spire on the church there, is not vertical. So I've levelled the church up, which looks a lot better to my eye, and I've just trimmed a slight amount off the left hand side of the original image, so that this branch that's dropping down towards the chimney on this watermill building here is actually coming in from, as you can see here, it's coming in from the very top left of the image, which I feel just pulls the image together a bit. And I've just brought the bottom of the image up a bit so that this little triangle formed between, or at least of the bank of the river here, or the edge, whatever you want to call it, which is concrete. It's better balanced here. It's just, well, I've trimmed obviously the house off there, which has brought the image down to here. So I wanted these two triangular elements, this one running along from the middle down to the bottom right, to go out in the corner as best I could, and equally the image or the triangle formed here on the left hand side to be going out pretty much in the corner as well. So I trimmed it very slightly after rotating it, and I pretty much achieved that. I've got the left hand triangular part coming out in the bottom left corner and the right hand triangular part pretty much coming out in the bottom right hand corner. I couldn't trim that anymore because I'd end up cutting into the house here, this little village shop. So the image is there as far as I could do. I brightened it because the arches on the bridge here and the bridge itself are too dark. You can't really make out the fact that that arch has got any texture in it. So I brought up the shadows quite a bit, and now you can see the stonework on the inside of the bridge, which makes that area a lot more interesting. Which then leaves me with the sky, and the sky just isn't anything. There's nothing there. It's completely uniform and grey. So what I did first of all is I created two sky replacements. The first one is this one, which is clearly nothing like the original sky, and it's very vivid, and it isn't necessarily quite what I was hoping for, although it's a nice picture in its own right. It's a bit over the top. So the next sky replacement I did is this one, and this was done using Luminar Ai. And here we've got some nice wispy clouds and a nice blue sky, which I feel tends to make the image have more interest in the actual sky areas. So it looks a bit gaudy for reasons that I have to ask Skylum about, because when I applied the filter for the sky it also contrasted up the bottom half of the image more than I really wanted. So what I subsequently did is I switched it to a black and white image, which is just loading up now, and I think that's really quite a nice black and white image. So if I actually put up the reference picture being the original black and white image, and then on the right hand side I've got the sky replacement version of the black and white image, and they're pretty similar. I know I've cropped this one slightly differently. The church spire is a bit higher up the picture than it is on the right hand image, but it's basically the same image, and I think this right hand image looks quite a bit better than the left hand one, simply because there is some interest in this sky area up here, and I'm quite pleased with that. That's quite a pleasant little picture, and I'm going to sort of keep that. So I just thought I'd talk you guys through what I do sometimes to images. I don't very often use sky replacement, but I thought in this instance it would be interesting to try it, and interesting to see an image that's produced by doing that. And I do prefer the fact this is black and white as opposed to the colour version, which I think to my taste is just too postcardy, too vivid. So I'm quite pleased with that second image. The one which has the hideous red sky, I also made a black and white version of that one, but I think the sky is too prominent in that picture for my liking. It just seems to detract from the detail in the lower part of the image more than the other image, which I'll put up again, which is this one. So this one, the sky has interest in it, but it's obviously got quite a lot less heavy structure in the sky. It's much wispier and lighter, which tends to push the eye down into the frame, and the details that are the bridge and the little river and the little church and the buildings around it. So I hope you found that interesting. It was only a short video, just bored here, and it's Christmas, nothing much to do, so I thought I'd just knock a little video up and show you how I produced an image from using sky replacement. So there we are. Please put comments in the section below. I always appreciate that, and by all means give it a thumbs up if you like what I've done with this image. I think it's quite nicely detailed. There's a little bit of noise in it, but noise is not a problem. It's in focus front to back, and that's pretty much all we need. So anyway, I wish you all a very happy Christmas, and during this festive period, have a nice time, and I'll go off and produce some more videos in the next few days while I've got some time off. So thanks for watching. See you soon.